Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here. Today on Ranking Doctor Who, we are continuing our ranking of the Doctor Who seasons, which of course incorporate the seasons and series from classic and modern Who, from worst to best. Now there are 41 places of these because I am counting the 2009 specials as a season and the 50th anniversary specials as a season. And today we are at number 40th place, the second from the last. And that is going to be Flux, Series 13. It's just, at best, mediocre. It's an interesting thing to do basically one story, kind of like Trial of the Time Lord, or loosely The Key to Time. But to do all of your episodes as one story. Now, Flux is short. It's only 6 episodes, partially due to the pandemic. The problem with Flux is that the overall story, the whole Flux, everything going on with the Flux and how everything's tied into the Flux is awful. It's garbage. Some of the episodes, had they been standalone individual episodes, could have been really good. Especially Village of the Angels, because I like Village of the Angels when it focuses on the stand-alone parts of the episode. It's when it has to tie it into the whole Flux narrative that the episode falls apart, like a planet caught by the Flux. It just doesn't work. The best episode of the series for me is the second episode with the Suntarans. I still find it a tolerable watch and enjoy parts of it. I love the Sontaran redesign. I love seeing a Sontaran on horseback. And it's the first time the Sontarans feel like they've been taken seriously since the two-parter in Series 4. Chibnall does a pretty good job bringing back classic villains, more so than Moffat did. I will give Chibnall that. He does good work with classic villains when he uses them. I don't really like the chocolate line when it's done in whatever episode that is with the one that's obsessed with chocolate, because that harkens more to the slapstick Suntarans that I'm not a fan of. But other than that, they're treated really well here. I like that. And I like that episode. I like meeting the one historical lady that's not exactly Florence Nightingale, but I don't remember her name. But I liked her. She was cool. It was nice to learn about her and then actually go and research her. And that was pretty neat. The doctor in that episode, Whittaker does a decent job, like when she's staring down the Suntaran when they meet on the battlefield. The set design looks good, like when you have the actual war against the Suntarans going. That's pretty neat. The whole time travel history being altered, like instead of Russia, it's like Suntar. That's weird. I don't know. And then, of course, at the end, when she gives the lecture to the one guy who blows up the Suntarans about, humans are bad, I can't trust you humans. And I'm sitting there going, man, this doctor, more than any other doctor, really is the do as I say, not as I do type. He kills a few Suntarans and she's lecture, bad humans. And then a few episodes later, she's pretty much responsible for wiping out a whole chunk of Daleks, Suntarans, and Cybermen. She could have prevented it. She didn't. That's the reason why the Daleks are after her in Eve of the Daleks, which I like that her decision there has consequences, which leads into Eve of the Daleks. I like that. Whittaker is at her best in this role, playing the character. She does have moments. I love the interview in part 5 when she's being interrogated by the Grand Serpent. And she takes control of that situation. Even though the Grand Serpent, who we've already figured out is a pretty dangerous, calm, collected dude, even though the doctor's the one that's chained up, so to speak, she feels very in control of the situation. I love the dialogue she's given, and I love the way she performs it. Well, you're trying to smother me. That's rude. I like that. The Doctor being split into 3 doesn't bother me. I can see them having affection for each other because the Doctor has always seemed a bit full of himself. So I enjoyed that. Yeah, there are moments where she has those moments like that interrogation, where she does shine in the role pretty well. Episode 1 on original viewing wasn't bad. It set up a lot of mysteries, wondering who that Claire girl was. The actress playing her, I think, does a good job. I think she's kind of stupid with how the statues get her. She knows what the statues are, and yet she keeps looking away anyway. When she did get zapped back, I was like, yeah, you're dumb. You deserve that. Dum 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 dum. The threat of Skeletor and Azure, I never remember Skeletor's name. They are worked up to be this major threat for the Doctor. Like somehow their histories are intertwined, like He-Man and Skeletor, or Batman and the Joker. Like they're just the yin and yang to each other. They've been doing this dance forever, and it never lives up to that. It never lives up to that. It's like after the first couple episodes, they just kind of fall by the wayside, and the Grand Serpent gets brought in. It's like this season can't make up its mind who the main villain of the story is, the Grand Serpent or Skeletor. And if it had went with one or the other, or combined them into one character, and worked with that, that might have worked better. And you still get this feeling of this season was originally supposed to be longer. Because it went from 10 episodes to 8 episodes to 6 episodes. And you feel like something got lost in there somewhere. I never really cared much for the dog guy. You know, I call him generic Chewbacca. The actor playing him is fine, but I never really cared for him. The whole bit about them having a bond with humans like dogs, I thought was dog crap. I don't buy it. Dum 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 dum. The effects look good. Too good for Doctor Who. Doctor Who, for me, just inherently shouldn't have effects that look that good. There's something that feels not very Doctor Who about it. Give me my wobbly sets. Doggone it, doggone it. Doggone it. My imagination can fill in the blanks. But I can't even remember the third of it. Was that Once Upon a Time? Yeah, I didn't really care for that. It was nice to see Joe Martin's Doctor again. I like Joe Martin's Doctor. She's not in it much, but even when Whittaker's kind of playing that Doctor, Whittaker does kind of fit into Joe Martin's fugitive Doctor persona pretty well. The episode as a whole, though, I don't really buy. I don't even remember a lot of it. The whole thing with Skeletor being able to kill these people that control time, it's just... bleh. I did like episode 5 when Jericho, Dan, and Yaz are traveling together. That could have been a whole spin-off series, and I would have loved it. Them in the past, just traveling together, those scenes are great. They're fun. In some cases, they're funny. When they meet the guy up on the mountain, that could have been cringeworthy, but I thought it was funny. I liked it. I enjoyed just Jericho and Dan and Yaz in general. One, I just liked Jericho, the actor playing him. I know he's from Pirates of the Caribbean. I like him. I really enjoyed the character of Jericho. It does a good job of fleshing him out. I feel like Jericho got fleshed out more than Yaz did. You know, you kind of understand why he is the way he is, his motivations, the trauma of his past. And the parts just played so well. The actor playing him just plays him so well. I liked him in Village of the Angels. I liked him in episode 5. I liked him in episode 6. And then that's another thing. They killed him off for no reason. I don't know why they killed him off. They killed him off just to kill him off. It's so dumb and senseless and serves no purpose other just to kill him off. You know, can't have this established character people might like. You know, he doesn't quite fit into their narrative, so we got to get him on out of there. I'm not saying that's the case, but it's awfully suspicious. And then everything with Yaz and the Doctor that feels forced. I know some people love Thasman because they think it's this, you know, victory for the LGBTQ community. It's not, because it's forced. It's a pretty toxic relationship, actually, if you think about it. I mean, at least they kind of addressed it a little bit in Legend of the Sea Devils. But this doctor is so unable to talk to people, which is very much not the doctor. She's very socially awkward. They made the very first female doctor socially awkward and unable to communicate her feelings. I don't know what message they're trying to get across there. And the problem is for Yaz, it's a pretty toxic relationship. It's not the poster child you want for what you want to see, for LGBTQ promotion and that. In my opinion, I don't think that's the poster child you want to say, this is what we need more of. Toxic relationships. I don't see that. So I don't like the Thasman thing because it feels tacked on. They've even admitted, Whitaker's been on the record for saying, well, it's because of the fans. The fans wanted it. And so it feels tacked on as an afterthought that doesn't have enough time to get fully realized because you only got one more episode. They'll try to cram as much in as they can, I assure you. But it still feels tacked on and forced instead of something that's just developed organically. And that's just bad writing. Yeah, the final episode, it's cool to see Kate back. She doesn't really do anything. I don't know why she has to go dark when she has all of Unit behind her, really. I've got to go dark, and then dramatically breaks the phone. Why does she have a flip phone? It's like 2020 or 2017 or whatever freaking year it is, I don't know. Why does she have a flip phone? I don't know, she just feels wasted. Again, the ending with the Grand Serpent, I don't know why he goes alone. There's just a lot of dumb going on in this. I love the callback to the Brigadier when we hear his voice off screen. I enjoy seeing the formation of Unit. It's interesting how the Grand Serpent kills people. That's pretty nifty. Ultimately, it's a mess. It's a mediocre mess that feels rushed. And I get they had to film in COVID conditions. I'm willing to give a little leeway for that. But the end result is just a jumbled mess. Again, I think episodes 2 and 4 would have been really good standouts if they had been solo episodes. And episode 5, if we'd gotten more with Dan and Yaz and Jericho doing their traveling, because I love those scenes, I do. There's some good in this season, but it's the whole Flux plot ruins it. And then the fandom's like, Doctor Who's introduced multiverse. Yeah, they're copying the MCU. They're introducing the multiverse. And then some of the other fans who, have been fans, but not as long as some of us have been fans, are like, well, actually, Doctor Who introduced the multiverse back when David Tennant was the Doctor. David Tennant in the Cybermen two-parter, if you remember. Then those of us who have been around for a while are going, multiverse has been around in Doctor Who since 1970, folks, with Inferno. It's not a new idea. Modern Who didn't come up with that and go, look what we did. No, it's a classic Who thing. And the best story to ever use it is still in classic Who, which is Inferno, one of my personal top 10 favorite Doctor Who stories. And it's an amazing one. So, yeah. So they brought back the multiverse in a stupid way with the woman who's supposed to be her mom, but not her mom, her adopted mom, who doesn't really seem to care to see her. I don't understand, for a TV show that's supposed to be ticking boxes or whatever, or showing how great and strong women are, we really get a lot of women who don't give a crap. Yaz isn't developed very well, the Doctor can't communicate with anybody, and her mom doesn't give a crap about her. And we've already seen the experiments her mom's done. I'm really thinking the Chibnall era does not present women in a favorable light when you think about it. And then she gets killed because Skeletor touches her, and I don't know. At some point, I just lose interest. The same way I feel about doing this video, actually. Like, I'm talking about it right now, and I'm like, can I just stop? It's just not that great. It has little moments of goodness. It has potential that could have been goodness, but ultimately, Flux is just a jumbled mess. So, Doctor Who Series 13, Flux, the short series. What do you think of it? Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do, click the like button and the subscribe button and the bell for notifications so you never miss out on another video. I also have a Patreon if you like what I do and would like to subscribe to what I do. There is a link to that down in the description below as well. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you would like to send me to review, as well as a link to my Amazon wish list down there. I want to give a shout out to Stephen Crane, one of my top tier supporters. I appreciate his support on Patreon, as well as the support of all of my other patrons. Most importantly though, thank you for watching.